So we all know that sometimes we get into fights with our parents, but there are certain boundaries that you cannot pass. For instance, just this past week, I was doing my math homework at home, and then my mom, she was constantly looking over my shoulder to see what I was doing. After about what seemed like 6 times, I was getting quite annoyed. Out of nowhere, she says, "That's not right." And naturally, I would respond, "Why is it not right?" Because you have to put the equation right there and put the equal sign right there and multiply after. Why do I have to do it your way? Why do I always have to do it your way? Why can't I just do math my way, the way that I understand it? And there I had it. She slapped me. A similar thing happened to Negi in When I Was Puerto Rican by Esmeralda Santiago. Negi had come home late from the library and her mother was scolding her, except she did not get hit. "Where have you been?" "In the library." "It's so late. Where?" "You know I don't want you out after dark. The streets are dangerous. What if something were to happen?" "Nothing happened." "Don't talk back." "I'm not talking." "What if mommy knew that I sometimes hitch my skirt up so I wouldn't look so dumb? What if she knew that I sometimes put on eye makeup and washed it off before I came home? What if some nosy neighbor had told her that a boy had walked me halfway home from the library?" I stood at the door, my winter coat still on, my arms laden with books. I wasn't about to admit anything until she accused me. "You think just because you can speak a little English, you can do anything you like?" "That's not true." She came at me, hands raised and ready to strike. My books dropped to the floor. Before I knew it, I was holding her wrist, grasping it tightly. I didn't know I was so strong. Mommy was surprised too, because she backed off. "Hit me, go ahead. You can kill me if that makes you better." I stood in front of her, arms shaking in terror. "What?" I didn't move. "Get out of my sight." Mommy and I didn't speak for days, but she never ever hit me again. "No, no, don't leave!" But it was already too late. My friend had walked past the security check of the airport. I took one last glance, and he was gone. 1 year later, he came back, a completely different person. He was not the person who liked Asian music anymore. He didn't even like Asian things. He was more into American rock, like Green Day. I hated Green Day. How could you become like this? This is sort of like what happened to Charles Wallace in A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine Alongo. Charles, Calvin, and Meg travel to a different dimension where they confront the man with red eyes. This man controls Charles Wallace through hypnosis, which changes Charles Wallace into an entirely different person. "I have been waiting for you, my dears. But how does it happen that there are 3 of you?" "Oh, Calvin just came along for the ride." "Oh, he did he? I hope that it has been a pleasant one so far." "Very educational." "Let Calvin speak for himself." I have nothing to say." "Meg, Calvin, close your eyes. Don't look into the light. He'll hypnotize you." "Clever, aren't you?" "Focusing your eyes would help. But I can assure you, there are other ways." "Now, my dears, what you will soon realize is that there is no need to fight me. Not only is there no need, but you will not have the slightest desire to do so. For why should you fight against someone who is here only to help you? I will take all the responsibility and make all of the decisions. We'll make our own decisions, thank you very much. Of course, but your decision and my decision shall be one. Don't you see how much easier that will be? Let us say the times table together. Once 1 is 1, once 2 is 2. Mary had a little lamb. Once 3 is 3, once 4 is 4. Whose fleece was white as snow. Splendid. You have passed the preliminary test with flying colors. You didn't think we would fall for that old stuff, did you? I hope not. Charles suddenly dashed forward and hit the man as hard as he could. May I ask why you did that? Because you aren't you. I'm not sure who you are, but you aren't what's talking to us. Pretty smart, are you? Okay, look into my eyes, and I will tell you who I am. I will tell you who I am and who your father is. Meg stared at Charles and yelled, "No! Don't do it, Charles!" I have to try for my father. I want to know who he is and rescue him. Charles looked into the red eyes as it bored into him. The pupils of the little boy contracted until the final point of black was lost in blue. He turned away from the red eyes and smiled. Come on, Meg. Try this delicious food that has been prepared for us. No! 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 Charles was no longer Charles.